Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm Brick Waffle, and we are here on Waffle Sauce Episode 2. We are going to be doing a lot of resource gathering today, but I want to show you a third-person time-lapse of some of the clearing out of the forest that's right there behind me, out that window. I'm starting to clear some trees down and mark out where I'm going to put some buildings. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. If you like these third-person time-lapses and you want me to do more of them, let me know. But without further ado, let's roll that footage. Alright, so hopefully that was interesting for you guys. You can see that my axe is in pretty bad shape, so we're going to have to make some more tools here. We are just about out of iron, it looks like. Oh, we got 6 more in here, so we can replace some of our tools. Let's get that crafted up right now. Let's get another axe made, and yeah, I'll probably leave the hoe alone for now. But I think we are definitely going to have to go and do some more digging. In fact, let's just plan to go down there with another pick as well, because I know that we're going to need a lot of that. So I'm going to start by just kind of talking through a little bit of our plans and figuring out where we want to go. One thing that will be really helpful, other than getting diamonds, of course, is to get some enchanting set up and running. So we're going to need to find some lapis, but we're also going to need to get some sugarcane and some cows for leather. So let's go ahead and see if we can just wander around on the surface and follow this river a little bit. Maybe we'll find some sugarcane that way. If we get a couple of cows, we'll get some more leather. And eventually I probably ought to try to bring a couple of cows back here and breed them up so we can get a little bit of cow farming going on and get leather whenever we need it. Doesn't look like there's a whole lot. There is a cave to check out, and there's a bunch of those actually around here now that I think about it. So we will probably do a lot more looking at caves in the future, maybe even later on in this episode. So for now, let's kind of wander down this way. Oh, that's interesting. We might get some of this coal on the way back, but while we're walking down here, let's talk a little bit about the kind of style of things I'm going to build this season. So we already talked about the building the village. We know we're going to do that. And then in terms of automation, I am going to go ahead and build some farms to make our lives a little bit easier. One of the things that we definitely want to do relatively early on is get an iron farm up and running, because those have become significantly simpler in 1.16. Now, when I build a farm that somebody else has designed, if I'm building it block for block from somebody else's design, I'm not going to go ahead and do that on camera, because you can just see that video. I'll link to whoever's farm it was that I built, and you guys can go watch their tutorial or their video on that. I think that's just fair for you guys and fair for the content creators. If they develop the farm, it doesn't make sense for me to record building it as well. So I'll put links down there when we do those. But if it's something that I'm designing on my own, then we will definitely do that on a video together here. So hopefully that makes sense. Here's a cow. Let's get some leather while we're over here. So the other thing we're going to want to keep an eye out for is anything that we can come back and plant in our actual, there we go, sugarcane, in our actual farm area. So we don't have, carrots yet. We have a few potatoes from the last episode, and there's some pumpkins. So let's get some sugarcane and some pumpkins, and that way we can start putting in all sorts of food here. I do think that this is going to be an interesting series. I also am going to need some sand for glass, but that's pretty easy to get whenever we need to. And I don't really need a whole lot of glass yet, but I think our first goal is going to be to get a couple villagers back here and get an iron farm and some crops going. So the design I'm planning to use for that is by Avamance, and I believe his design is actually from somebody else. We'll let you follow that in the description, but I'm going to link to his video when I build that. If that happens in today's episode, then that link will be down in the description. If it happens in next episode, then it'll be on that video. But I do think this is going to be a good option for us because that particular design allows us to have some automatic crop farms and some iron going at the same time. That's going to be a huge help early on because that little crop area I have is useful for getting started, but it's just not going to cut it in terms of giving food for a long term. And the farm design that Avamance put together is a really good one, and it produces quite a bit. I was amazed when I built that in a little bit of a testing world, trying things out for myself, doing some concepts. And that is something that I tend to do when I'm playing Minecraft, is I don't just play on the Let's Play survival world, I also play around in creative and kind of explore some ideas, make sure I understand what's going on before I come back and try and do a video on it. So hopefully that makes sense for everybody else. And it's a big lake, but we really only have a little bit of sugarcane in that one cow so far. But it is enough, we've got sugarcane, we can certainly use this and come back to our village, or what will be a village, come back to our starting house, and use that. Interesting. Here's another cave. Let's hit that, let that fall in there. Huh, okay. The other thing that'd be nice to find early on is beehive, and that's going to be a little tricky because I don't have silk touch, and I could make a campfire, I suppose, but I didn't bring any charcoal with me to make a campfire either. So I think for now, that's going to be probably as good as we're going to get. Oh, I don't have any bones on me, do I? It'd be nice to get a wolf, too. But since we are right next to a forest, we should be able to find wolves in the future fairly easily, and foxes as well. So that's something we can come back and get later on. And there's a lot of wolves out here. That's great. But for now, I think that's enough. Let's go ahead and get back, and we will start getting some sugarcane planted just on the edge of our little island. And I'm going to start getting a little bit of exploration done and come back when I have some progress to show you. Alright, so we made it back, got a little bit of coal, and I think what I'm going to do for now is just, like I said, put some of this sugarcane up on the edge, and that's perfect. That's exactly 11 there. So we'll do that, and I'm also going to put down a couple spots for some pumpkins. So let's go ahead and 1, 2, 3, 4, and we'll just throw some pumpkins down there. And let's do it this way, and right here. And that way they can grow out on either side of this, and they could potentially grow over here too, that's fine. So for the most part, they're just going to grow around that area. And that's going to be good enough for now. Probably didn't need to convert all those pumpkins into seeds, but we'll just throw those back in this box. We also have some berry bushes, some saplings, and let's go ahead and turn these bones into bone meal and get some of this kind of grown up around the edges. So let's go that, and maybe some over here, a little bit right there, just kind of around the edges of this area. We'll just get that looking a little bit more natural again, since we took out a lot of that when we were first building this house. Let's get rid of that in front of the very beginning area of the house. And get a little over there. That should be fine. That's going to look a lot nicer. Just to give us a little bit of natural grass and flowers and things. The other piece that we want to do is maybe throw down some sweet berries. So we do have those as decoration up on the side of the house here. But I think having a few kind of tucked in here where we can go in back and get some food if we need to, that could be pretty useful as well. So let's do that there and there. And that's going to be tucked in just on the side of this little pop-out. And the last step here is to put in some spruce saplings. So you can see this is kind of the river biome, and there's a little bit of this forest up here. But I do have a lot of spruce trees in the area, and just to kind of bring this together, let's put a couple in right there. Let's put one up in the front area, maybe there. And probably one on this side, kind of behind the fireplace. That seems pretty reasonable. Maybe we'll put one last one right there as well. So we've got plenty of saplings. In fact, what we probably ought to do is make a composter because we have so many saplings from clearing out that area. That's going to be another good source of bone meal. So let's get some more of this. Let's leave those planks there. Let's turn a bunch of these into planks, and let's get a few slabs. And then, what's our recipe for composters? It's been a while since I've made one of those. Just slabs. Okay, so we just need to make a few more of those. Let's make some more slabs. And there it is. Let's get a composter going. And that'll let us put a lot of this stuff back and not be too worried about it. And get some slabs in here as well. So for those who don't know, in 1.16, of course, you can do this and just put any kind of materials you want in there. Saplings don't have a great return rate. Things like fungus in the nether or actual food would be a lot better. But that gives us a little bit of a start, and we're up to 12 bone meal now, so not too bad. And let's see, while we're here, let's go ahead and take this bone meal and get some of our potatoes up and going. So let's get all these matured as best we can. And it looks like those are all fully grown, so let's harvest those. Yeah, that's much better. That turned into 23 potatoes. And for now, we're just going to go ahead and fill this up as almost all the way. Yeah, that's going to be fine. Let's throw one more down there, and let's just hit this up with the rest of our bone meal and see if we can get enough for a little bit more. Can we get one more row? Perfect. So we can get all of that going. Now we're going to have plenty of potatoes. Our trees are going to grow up there. And I don't know why I put our food in the furnace earlier, because we do have a smoker. But that's going to help. So we've got one book. We've got 7 leather. That's going to let us make 7 more books. And we're going to need enough of this to kind of make 15 bookshelves. 15 bookshelves is going to be, 15 times 3, 45 books. So we're going to need about 45 leather. And we're going to need a little area for farming up some cows. So I think what I'm going to do is clear out a little space and see if I can lure a couple of cows back here. And I'll catch up with you guys again in just a minute. Alright, so we've got our cow pen set up, cleared out a little bit of area back here, took down some trees, put down a little bit of an area for our cows to go, and we've started breeding them up. So this is what we're going to do for now. Like I said, we need to get to 45 leathers, so we're going to breed up these cows till we have a whole bunch of them, then clear some out, breed the rest of them back up, and keep going that way. I'm not going to set up an automatic cow breeder for now. I think that's probably overkill for what we need. We're just going to come back here from time to time and breed these up till we have a bunch of them. We do have a few pumpkins kind of growing out here. We've got our trees growing up. So the next step is really to find a good place to start our mining, and I think we're just going to go right down into our ravine and see what we can find. So while we're waiting on cows and sugarcane for the books, we can start trying to get some materials, and hopefully we'll get a few diamonds while we're down here as well. So let's just drop right down to that and go as far down as we can before we have to really think about digging. So how far down did we get? We're at 33. So we're pretty close. We need to get down to around, 11 or 12, somewhere in that range to start really getting diamonds. It does not look like there's anything down here in terms of caves that go any deeper. So this ravine may not be our best bet. It may just be like a little spot here where we can kind of check things out. I think we want to take a look in these caves, and I did not bring enough torches with me. I hear a skeleton. Interesting. Alright, well, we're going to keep an eye out for that guy. We're going to get some coal while we're in here. We're actually doing pretty well on coal, and we can always go back and get some more charcoal if needed too. So I'm not too worried about this, but when it's right here next to something else I'm going to stop and mine anyway. It makes sense. it. Diamonds. That's a pretty good haul. So that's what, 6 diamonds? Not too bad. That's enough for an enchanting table and a pick, and that's really what we're primarily after. So I'm gonna head back up to the surface, and I will see you guys when we get back to the house. Alright, well we managed to get a couple of wolves on our way back up here, so we got one inside and one outside. He did not want to move in the house with the other one, but that's fine for now. Well, let's see if we can push this guy out the door as well. Maybe we'll get them both to hang out together, and then we can breed them up with some food and get them some wolf pups. And that'll be good for us later on, so we can use those in farms and that sort of thing. So for now, got a couple wolves out there, and we did get our 6 diamonds back, so I think the first thing we need to do is actually make a diamond pick. So let's get 2 of those together, and let's get that. That is awesome. We're gonna put our other iron pick in here for now, and iron hoe needs to go in there. We don't really need both of those. I think that's what we want to do. So we've got a decent amount of redstone, we've got plenty of lapis, we have enough to make some more books once we get some sugarcane in here. 12 books would give us 4 bookshelves. So I think our next real goal is to get some obsidian. And to do that, we really need to take a bucket with us and get some a bucket of water and pour it on some lava down there. So let's grab a bucket of water and see if we can't find some lava in one of these caves nearby. I'm pretty sure we saw some down in, I know we saw some down in the very bottom ravine. But in terms of caves, I know it's getting dark, but we're getting ready to go caving anyway. And we're just going to be really covering ground we've already covered. So let's make sure we get in there. We need to go up a little bit. And let's get this guy. Really, I think what we need to do is find... I think that, yeah, this is where we went down not too long ago in that earlier cut. So you kind of saw that. Just a little speed up time lapse, but I think now we're going to go right back down in here. Find that lava that we found earlier so we don't have to reuse a whole lot of torches. And then we can get some obsidian to make another portal and an enchanting table. So let's go around this way. Let's go... Can we get down there from here? Maybe we can get down this way instead. Yep. Hello. Hey, sneaky guy. There we go. Alright. So we want to be careful getting over here. And I think what we want to do is just put the water down right here. And we're just going to stick a torch there for the time being and hop down onto this. That's perfect. So that's going to let us get what we need. And just to make sure we're in a safe place, we're going to dig it from this gravel block right here. Oops, and let's use our diamond pick so it actually breaks. So we need 10 obsidian for the portal and 4 for the enchanting table. So let's go ahead and get that 14 obsidian. Oh, and hopefully, let's do it this way. There we go. Now we can get it so we won't have to worry about losing it in the lava like that. The water will just automatically spread and cool the lava before this item can drop onto it. Alright, there we go. That's 14 obsidian, and that's enough to take us back up to the surface. So let's head back up there and put our enchanting table and our portal together. Alright, so we are back at the surface. There's our enchanting table, and then we also have enough for our portal. Let's see, where do we want to put our enchanting table? That's going to be a little tricky to squeeze in here. I think for now, we're probably just going to have to stick it in one of these corners and see if we can get some books nearby. So let's just stick it right there, and our portal is going to go right over here somewhere. Actually, you know what? Maybe out back would be better, because eventually we're going to want to keep that as a way we can build like a bridge over to the village area. So let's stick the portal back here, maybe in this hillside. That should be fine. And we'll just clear out a little bit of space. And get that out of the way. Let's get that out of the way. We've got all of that there. So what we need to do is those two, 1, 2, 3. We'll get that, 2, and that. So there's obsidian. That should be enough. And let's go ahead and get a couple of torches on that just to light it up. Then we need to get ourselves one of our pieces of iron and find some flint. I don't think we have any gravel yet. No, we sure don't. But we do have all this iron, so let's grab that. Let's put all but one of it in here. Let's put the dirt away and grab some gold ore and get that smelting up. And let's eat this last bit here. Grab some extra food. There's some steaks. And let's go ahead and get some of this raw beef cooking as well while we're going out. So now we just need to find a little bit of gravel, and that should be anywhere in this river. There we go. And it's a little difficult to mine underground, but we shouldn't have to mine, or underwater. We shouldn't have to mine that much of it to get a piece of flint. It's about 10% chance to drop a piece of flint. So we're beating the odds already. Lucky us. Let's get up here before we start taking drowning damage. There we go. Yeah, we are not doing real well in luck here. Hopefully we'll get some very shortly. Whoops, there's some drowning damage. There's a piece of flint. Finally, there we got a couple of them. Alright, so we really beat the odds on that. About, yeah, 20 of them. So you've got 2 at 21. That is still right about 1 in 10. And I don't think this sapling's going to grow here. So let's take out a little bit of the grass around it, see if that helps too. Sometimes spruce trees can be a little picky. So let's get our iron and our flint. Got our flint and steel. Put our extra gravel in here. Maybe we'll use that for making concrete later on. And then let's go ahead and light up, oops, not climb up the ladder. Let's go light our nether portal. And we're going to take that out as well on our way. And let's see what we have in the nether near us. So fingers crossed, this is not a very dangerous thing to do. We'll see what happens. Okay, we are above a lava lake in a soul sand valley, it looks like. So not too bad in terms of needing soul sand. If we did, this is a great place to get it. So if we want to make some bubble elevators, this is a good way to get all the material we need for that. Now it does mean we move a little slower. Oops, hello. Regular skeletons, but we do have a lot of bone structures up here, so we might be able to collect some fossils, get some bone blocks, and turn that into bone meal. Let's see about this guy. There we go. But yeah, all of these bone blocks can be harvested and turned into bone meal, or used as really nice building blocks. And they also sound fantastic when you break them, don't they? I really like that sound. Oh, hello. Is this a friend of yours? I'm sorry. I'm not really that sorry. Alright, let's see. We're going to break a few more of these just to grab this bit of fossil here. And you can see there's tons of basalt out there. There's soul sand, there's soul soil, which we actually probably ought to grab a little bit of, because then we can make a basalt generator by having soul soil and some blue ice. We don't get too far from our portal just yet. Just time to take a look around, see what's around here, see what's in the area. It does look like we are kind of hovering, whoops, over a huge lava lake. Yeah, that's going to be a little tricky. And that does mean getting quartz is going to be you know, few and far between until we can get somewhere else set up. But for now, let's go ahead and grab a little bit of that quartz in case we need to make an observer or a comparator or something like that for redstone, and head back. I don't want to spend too much time in here. Just wanted to see where we were. And it doesn't look like there's any nether fortresses or piglin bastions right here. Man, that is a little scary around the edge, isn't it? But for now, I think that's going to be good. Let's head back through, and we'll make a more concerted expedition into the nether in the future when we're a little more prepared. Oh, a little bit of lag there. There we go. Everybody's back and happy. Let's go ahead and breed up the cows again, because it's been a little while. Let's break all of that and get this replanted. Hey, everybody. How's it going in there? Everybody get some wheat? There we go. Everybody making a baby? Love it. Thanks. Make all the babies. And let's see. Can we make these guys breed as well? Well, let's not set them on fire. Let's have them stand up. Can you guys break a baby? There we go. Look at that. Have you sit, and you sit. And hey, where are you going, baby wolf? Where are you going? Let's have you sit right over there. Great. Got wolves all around the house. Everybody's getting happy. And I think that's where we're going to wrap it up today. So we did get a lot accomplished. I'm pretty happy with what we managed to gather. Let's put all our blocks away in here. Let me know what you guys think. If you want to see more things like the mining time-lapse or the third-person time-lapse we did at the very beginning, leave a comment down below. Let me know what you like and don't like about this episode. If you did like this episode, please be sure to hit that like button. If you really liked it, then make sure to subscribe. And as always, I've been Brickwaffle. Thank you for watching.